Hey guys, my name is Heather Wake with AfterBuzz TV, and today we're going to talk about Orange is the New Black, Season 6, Episode 13, the series finale. I thought there were so many amazing scenes in this episode. The Tasty trial, which I think we all sort of anticipated the guilty verdict, but the way that they executed the reveal with the really long, overwhelming silence and the drawn-out pan to Tasty, it was pretty devastating. I mean, at first it looked like maybe she was crying tears of joy, but then it became obviously clear that that was not the case. I thought that was really beautiful. In fact, I rewatched the scene and was surprised to find out that it only lasted a few seconds because during first watching it, it felt like an eternity. And then there's the kickball game, which really shouldn't have worked. I mean, it shouldn't have just been like, oh, the inmates decided to have fun and play kickball and get over their differences, but magically it did work. And let's not forget the janky prison wedding, which I absolutely loved, and I think we can all agree was Nikki's shining moment of the season. She really stole the scene there. And as is characteristic with most of the writing in Orange is the New Black, the clever comedy is best sprinkled throughout the heartwarming, sometimes heart-wrenching moments between the inmates. Really always loved that. Oh, this was an episode about chapters beginning and ending, including a fantasy inmate. Sorry, Alvarez. I thought this was a really strong, dynamic, messy, yet brilliant season start to finish anyway. But with the aftermath of the riot and the introduction of a whole bunch of new characters, including Carol and Barb, which I'm going to talk about their death scene right now. So Carol and Barb, these psycho sisters, have been my favorite antagonists of the entire series. And their death scene was perfect. Personally, I think that as Carol turned around and opened the door, Barb stabs her in the back, and then Carol turns around in a vengeful fury and slices Barb's throat. That's what I think happened. Either way, the death was really abrupt, but perfectly timed, and I didn't know if I wanted to laugh awkwardly or just sit there and be disturbed, which is how I felt about them this entire season. I also want to talk about the scene between Sophia and Frida, where Sophia gives the quote of, "Freedom is not something that anybody can be given. Freedom is something that people take. Freedom are as free as they want to be." To which Frida replies, "If people are as free as they want to be, I should be able to stroll out these doors and look up into the sky, but I can't do that because I ain't free." I love this scene because it is so indicative of the theme of this episode, and really the theme of the series as a whole, which is the theme of personal freedom. How free is a person really? We have the inmates from D Block and C Block antagonizing each other, choosing to fight Carol and Barb's war, a war that's not even their own. But then these women come to realize that they do have the personal freedom of choosing between their ideas of right and wrong. They have the power to create themselves, no matter where they're starting from, which I find really poignant. So I don't want to leave without sharing my predictions because I think I got some good ones. I'll start from small to big. First, I think that Maritza will reunite with Flocka somehow, some way. But I do think also that Pennsatucky and Crazy Eyes will serve as our new comedic relief duo, kind of replacing Floritza. I also think that Piper will write her memoir. I think that will be the focus of her in the next season, and she'll sort of serve as the outside prison view because I think it'll replace the flashback scenes. We've kind of had considerably less this season, and they've been played out mostly throughout seasons 1 through 5. I also predict that season 7 will be the end of the series, and I certainly hope so because not that I don't love the show, but I do want the series finale to serve as justice for the story. No pun intended. Last but not least, I predict that the immigration detention center reveal that was so heartbreaking with Blanca is actually foreshadowing what the theme will be of next season, which is the immigration issue, because this show is pretty acute with tapping into cultural subject matter. We had the LGBTQ issue with Sophia, then we had the Black Lives Matter situation with Poussey and Tasty, and now I think we're going to deal with the immigration issue with Flocka. I'm sorry, with Blanca. Sorry about that. So whatever happens, I know that we'll be more than excited to talk about Season 7. Once again, my name is Heather Wake, and this is AfterBuzz TV.